We're back for round two. Okay, so this problem, you guys, is based off the last pictures. So these two pictures are technically the same pictures, but this is a completely new problem. So the information from example 5 has nothing to do with the information from example 6. But we're going to use the same pretty pictures, so get excited. All right, guys, and again, this example is very similar to example 5. So if you're like, Miss Long, this is a piece of cake, I've got it. Well, guess what? You can try it on your own. So you can pause the video, try it on your own, and then fast forward to the end to see if you get it right. So let's see what to do. So we still know that quadrilateral card is a rectangle, so I can assume all those lovely properties about a rectangle. Okay, and then it says in circle S and circle R, C to the D is 48. So I'm going to be labeling my picture. So CD is 48. Okay, that's 48, sorry. SR is 52, so S to the R is 52. And D to the R is 18. And we want to find CS, so I want to find the radius of circle S. Okay, so again, sometimes in geometry we need to look closer into the picture to find shapes within our shapes to help us find what we're ultimately trying to find. So ultimately I want to find my radius, okay, but we need to use pieces of this to help me get to the radius. Okay, so first of all, since this is a rectangle, that means that opposite sides are congruent. So that means that DR is congruent to CA. And CD is congruent to AR. So that means that CD is 48, which means AR is 48. And since DR is 18, if I wrote that right, yeah, DR is 18, that means that CA is also 18. Okay, which 18 is part of the radius, so that's going to help me. I need to know what this part of the radius is. Guys, and like in the last problem, since these right here, since it's a rectangle, that means there's several ways to know that this is a right angle. But one of the ways is since it's a rectangle, opposite sides are parallel, which means we have those nifty parallel line properties that we talked about. And remember, these two angles right here make that lovely F shape, which means they are corresponding angles, and corresponding angles are congruent. So that means that this angle is also 90. So guys, like in the last problem, I'm going to use this lovely triangle to help me find AS. Because if I know AS, I know CA, which means I can find the whole radius CS. Because I know these two parts added together will give me CS. So I'm going to use this same triangle again to help me find AS, which will ultimately help me reach my goal and find CS. So let's get started. So I'm going to draw a mini picture of that right triangle real quickly. Dun, dun, dun. All right. There we go. If you need some songs, you can hum the quadratic formula to yourself. That'd be a fun time. All right, so we have ASR. R. Okay, which each of these sides, this is 52, and this is 48. So I need to find out this side, which will then help me find the whole length of the radius. So let's get going so we can find that radius. That bad boy needs to be found. All right, so again, we're going to be finding the sides of a right triangle. What nifty formula do you use to find the sides of a right triangle? You do use the Pythagorean theorem, so that lovely a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Okay, we're going to be using that lovely formula. Remember, the a and the b are the sides of the right angle. Okay, so those would be sides A to the S and sides A to the R, which remember, it doesn't matter what you assign to be the A or the B. You get to pick. Guys, and then the C is the side across from that 90-degree angle. So this is my side C. All right, so let's substitute in our values and solve for side AS. And then we'll be so close to solving for the next one. So get excited. Okay, let's get going. So I'm going to substitute in my value. So A squared is the side I don't know, which is AS. So AS squared plus B squared which B is side AR, which is 48, equals C squared, which is 52 squared, because this is side C. Alrighty, let's get to solving. So 48 squared, that is going to give us 2,304, which I've already solved this in advance. That's how I know. Okay, I didn't do that in my head. Okay, so we have AS squared plus, oh, and if you want to, these all went to these. I forgot to carry my arrows down. Sorry, guys. So 48 squared is 2,304. All right, equals 52 squared, which 52 times 52 will give me a lovely 2,704. Nice. All right, let's keep on going. So I need to get AS squared by itself. So how do I move 2,304 to the other side? I would subtract that bad boy on both sides. Okay, which 2,304 minus 2,304. And guys, ignore this. This is the next problem. I'm going to block it so we're not focused on that. But anyways, this will cancel out and turn to 0. Okay, and then 2,704 minus 2,304 would give me a 400. Okay, which I'm going to bring this up here. So we know AS squared equals 400. Okay, guys, we're so close. How do we undo a square? What is the opposite of a square? It is a square root. You guys are so brilliant. Okay, so I'm going to square root both sides, square root that thing. Okay, which the square root and the square will cancel each other out. So I'm left with AS equals the square root of 400, which is technically 20. Now, I forgot to mention this in the previous problem. The demon cat's got me. We look at the previous problem. Technically, when you guys square root both sides, a plus or minus will pop up. Okay, but a negative side length doesn't make sense. That's why I just kind of ignored it in my head, but I forgot to mention it. So technically, this equals plus or minus 30, but the minus sign does not make sense. So we chose the positive one. Guys, so same here. AS will be plus or minus 20 technically, but a negative 20 makes no sense for a side length of a triangle. You cannot have a negative side length of a triangle. It just does not exist. So that means that AS will equal a positive 20. Nice. But we are not done. The problem says to find CS, which if we look back up here, CS is the whole radius. So I know that this piece, CA, is 18. Okay, and then this piece is that we just found, AS, is going to be 20. Okay. Okay, so if I know that CA is 18 and AS is 20, how could I find the length of the entire radius? How could I find this whole thing right here? How could I find the whole thing? You would add those bad boys together. So we're going to have 18 to 20. Okay, so I'm going to do a little side work here. Okay, so CS will equal 18 plus 20, which means that CS equals 38. Nice. And guess what, you guys? That problem is officially donezo. Way to go, you guys. You rocked that problem.